Good morning, everyone. It's October 10th, 2018. I'm here at the SHTFplan.com. Worst job growth in a year. Way below expectations. This comes from Michael Snyder. I have two for you on the economy, by the way. I started making videos about 5-6 years ago. It took a while for my channel to grow, and when it did, well, not long after I got near my 1,000 mark, YouTube took me down. And if you were around back then, you would know that I held the opinion for a very long time that it would be the economy that caused shit to hit the fan. And I could still be right. I mean, there's so many other things out there that can make that happen too, but I could still be right about the economy being the trigger. So we just got more evidence that the U.S. economy is starting to slow down. It must produce somewhere around 200,000 jobs a month just to keep up with population growth. And last month we were way below that number. In fact, the employment numbers that the government released on Friday were the worst that we have seen in an entire year. In late 2018, the IMF is openly warning that a second Great Depression and indications that another economic crisis is coming are merging all around us. Many had been hoping that very strong employment numbers on Friday would change that trend, but instead it was the worst performance since last September. Non-farm payrolls rose just 134,000, well below definitive estimates of 180,000, and the worst performance since last September when a labor strike weighed on the numbers. But even though the numbers of jobs created did not even come close to keeping up with population growth, we are told that the unemployment rate is actually declined, and some media outlets are proudly touting this as some sort of success. Of course, other numbers actually show that the unemployment rate is rising. The following comes from CNBC. A separate measure of unemployment that includes discouraged workers and those holding jobs part-time for economic reasons, sometimes called real unemployment rate, edged higher to 7.5%. According to shadowstats.com, the actual unemployment rate in the United States right now is about 21.3%. 21.3%. And Shadowstats is ran by a dude named John Williams. He knows his shit pretty well, man. So this is down slightly from the peak, but it is nowhere even close to where we were before the last recession. You know, we used to produce the most, almost all the world's ships, airplanes, you name it. Now we're becoming a third world nation, just as the New World Order planned. So that's one on the economy right there. Here's another one. NAFTA 2.0 free trade. Now, I was around when the original NAFTA was signed there in Michigan. And what happened really, really quickly, that place became a third world shithole because all those jobs in Flint, Michigan were lost. Not just Flint, but all of Michigan. Anything dealing with the auto industry, like Ross Perot said, that sucking sound, it happened. So, last week, the United States, Mexico, and Canada agreed to replace the North American Free Trade Agreement with a new United States-Mexico-Canada agreement. Sadly, instead of replacing NAFTA, managed trade with true free trade, the new USMCA expands government control over trade. I thought Donald Trump was for small government and all that shit. Guess not. For example, under the USMCA's rules of origin, at least 75% of a car's parts must be from the US, Canada, or Mexico in order to avoid tariffs. This is protectionism designed to raise prices of cars using materials from outside North America. The USMCA also requires that 40 to 45% of an automobile's contents be made by workers earning at least $16 per hour. Like all government set wages, this requirement will increase prices and decrease employment. The USMCA also requires Mexico to pass legislation recognizing the right of collective bargaining. In other words, the so-called free trade agreement forces Mexico to import U.S.-style compulsory unionism. If the Mexican legislature does not comply, the U.S. and Canada will impose tariffs on Mexican goods. So, you know, this guy isn't such a genius after all, is he? Not such a genius after all. You want to fix the country? Remove the regulations on the average citizen. Keep regulations on the biggest corporations, the predatory corporations. And you actually have free trade. Not this shit. Central planning never works. History proves this. Anyway, I thought I'd share these two with you because, well, the economy can make shit hit the fan. And in my opinion, it will probably be the trigger for all the other shit except for nature, you know, like Yellowstone or Comet, something like that. Anyway, I hope you all have a good day. Kill the state. Let free.